Hey, I thought I'd come to you from the front of my bookshelf today because I am hot and flustered. I have just been vacuuming. I don't have a space to set up on my desk, and I just thought that this would be all around easy. I'm trying to cool down with a nice coffee because I am so hot. You can probably tell I'm glistening with sweat. Anyway, just tray down here so that I can have this down here. I thought I would talk to you about my 2025 reads. 2026 January reads is what I mean. I read more than I expected in January, have not done well in February. Also, because it's been like almost a whole month ago, I can't really remember. Because that just seems to be a thing these days. I read a book and I forget what it was about. But I did have my first 5-star read in January, and that was The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy. This is like I believe it's a Harry, Draco and Hermione fan fiction that was like, I don't know, maybe rewritten for actual publishing. I tried to read this as a Hermione and Draco fan fiction, and I couldn't imagine those characters. So these characters stand very well on their own. The story was really gripping. It's a really good plot line. I can't remember what her name is. See, this is what I mean. We'll just call her Hermione for time's sake. But she is like a healer. So it's a romantasy. She is a magical healer, sort of scientist person, and Osric, I remember his name, he is an assassin. So it isn't enemies to lovers, it's a genuine enemies to lovers, which I feel like we don't really have a lot of these days. They say they're enemies to lovers, but really they're just like super attracted to each other and think that they hate each other. But excuse me, they do genuinely dislike each other, her especially, because he does not stand for anything that she believes in or values. And then they get to know each other, and that's when the feelings start to come in. He is very, very funny. Osric, super funny. Read his voice like Hugh Grant in Bridget Jones or anything that he is in, really. Very Hugh Grant coded. In fact, this is the copy that I actually read, and pretty much all of this is just funny lines. It's very funny, very witty, very British. And all the green tabs, that's Osric. Yeah, I like it so much that I wanted to get a hardcover copy, and I would have liked to get a nice edition like a Fairy Loot or whoever has done them, but they're no longer available. But I love this cover anyway. So that was my first 5-star read of the year. I also read Beth is Dead, which is a Little Women retelling. It is a modern day mystery, and I feel like it would have been hard to do because it's taking classic characters who everybody loves, and they're all really sweet characters. I mean, they have their flaws, but they're not major flaws, and they all learn from them, and they have, there's a lot of moral values and everything in Little Women. This sort of takes that, and it does butcher the characters. So, I mean, you have to make the characters a bit unlikable to suspect them in a murder mystery. So it starts off with the March daughters, or the March sisters. Their father is a writer, and so he writes the book Little Women and publishes it without their permission. Pretty much airs all their dirty laundry, and in the end kills off Beth, even though Beth is still alive. So it's the girls sort of all coming to terms with what this means. Beth in particular coming to terms with the fact that her father killed her off in a story that is sort of 90% true apart from this little bit. Dealing with that, and like Jo is his champion, Meg is like really angry at him, and they've all got like these different things. Not too far in, Beth actually dies, and so it does become this sort of murder mystery where everybody is a suspect. I did figure out who it was going to be. I'm not going to say any more than that. But I think it was very well done. It's well written. It's easy, like an easy read. The chapters are very small, and for a debut novel, I think it was quite good. I did give this, originally I gave it a 4-star, and then I was like, I don't know that it is a 4-star, and I went down to 3, but now I'm thinking maybe 3.5 stars for this one. It was a fun read. It was definitely fun. Next, I read People We Meet on Vacation, or You and Me on Vacation, depending where you come from. For me, it's You and Me on Vacation. I did like that. I think that was sort of like a 3.5-star read for me. My favorite Emily Henry is Funny People. And I gave that a 4.5, and I feel like it wasn't on that level for me. Follows Alex and Poppy, who Poppy's like a travel journalist, and Alex is, I think he's a school teacher, and they've been best friends forever, and like every year they go on a trip, and then the story goes along that it's like, you know, the trip for 10 years ago, trip 9 years ago, and then it gets to like 3 years ago, and you know that something happened on that trip 3 years ago, and like it's ruined their friendship or it's affected their friendship, and now Poppy's like, I want to get back to the way that we were before, and so she sort of goes out on a limb and invites Alex to go on another trip with her and to sort of fix their friendship. It's a sweet story, and there's a lot of sort of like personal growth in it, far more in the book than the movie. And like, I wanted to read the book because I had a friend staying who was like, I want to watch the movie. She'd already read the book, so I was like, I need to read the book beforehand. So I quickly tried to get through that. I ended up watching the movie while I was like 75% through the book, but I was like, I know what's going to happen. The book was better than the movie. It was probably a 3.5-star read for me. And then what else did I read? I listened to Carrie Soto is Back. I started off reading and listening at the same time, but because I was reading quite a few other things at the time, I ended up just listening to that. And I was listening to it while the tennis was on. Carrie is quite an unlikable character. She first appears in Malibu Rising, which I really liked that. Taylor Jenkins Reid is probably one of my favorite of hers. But yeah, she's a tennis player, and I don't know, I feel like there's not a lot to say about that. It's Taylor Jenkins Reid sort of just writes about people. It's not really a romance. It's not it's fiction. It's literary fiction. And it was interesting, and I feel like I want to go back and read it properly using the physical copy, because I just don't take enough in when I listen. And I also read 2 Frida McFadden books. I read the second and third Housemaid. So I read, I think it's The Housemaid's Secret and The Housemaid is Watching. And I feel like as a rule, her books are just always 3-star reads for me, because they're never any sort of like great literary work, but they're page turning, they're fast paced, and they're always a good mystery, and there's always a good twist. And yeah, so I enjoyed them, not as much as the first one. Yeah, they were still really good. I think that is all that I read. Yeah, so it was 6 reads that I did for January, which is pretty good for me. I don't think I've ever read 6 books in 1 month. This month has not been anywhere near as good. I am still on Kings of the Wild, which has been my 1 read for this month. I am nearly finished. I'm enjoying it, just not as fast paced as the other books that I've been reading, and like the chapters are pretty good length, about 10 pages per chapter, moving a little bit slower, and I also am having to concentrate more because a lot happens in this. So I am enjoying that one. I am listening to the new Goblet of Fire on Audible. That has been good. Interesting to hear the older actors now that are doing Harry, Ron and Hermione. It's funny because like I haven't properly listened to the first 3, but my husband has been listening to them. And in Prisoner of Azkaban, like when we were in the car together, I listened to it with him. But Prisoner of Azkaban, the kids that were doing Harry, Ron, Hermione sounded like too young to be doing Prisoner of Azkaban. And now that we're in Goblet of Fire, the people who are doing them now almost sound too old to be doing them in Goblet of Fire. So that's funny, but it's really well done. And so I'm enjoying that. Ireland has just won the Quidditch World Cup, and I am also reading, or attempting to read very slowly, Wuthering Heights. I'm doing that as like, I guess a study, because I'm literally reading it like just like 1 page at a time and trying to understand everything on the page, because I am finding that quite hard to read. I tried reading that 10 years ago and it was lost on me. It's sort of still lost on me now. But again, lucky Mitch is a English lit teacher, because I'm asking him a lot of questions and I'm looking up the dictionary a lot as well, which I suppose is what you're probably meant to do when you don't understand something that you're reading. But I also went shopping today, and I didn't go shopping with the intention of buying anything. I went to the chiropractor, and then I had to go shopping to get just a couple of like small grocery items. But I did go into the bookshop, and I did happen to pick up Emma. So These are such beautiful editions. I do own one copy already of Sense Sensibility, and I was like, just buy one. They're only $20 as well for QBD. Like, I feel like QBD is always outrageously priced, which is, I don't know whether that's just a thing, because books in Australia in general are usually quite expensive unless you're buying them from Kmart or Big W. It's like the book Dimmicks and QBD. I think we do only have like 2 proper booksellers, and they're always expensive. But for some reason, these are reasonably priced in QBD. If you want to buy like a hardback, like Dungeon Crawler Carl, these ones, you're looking at $55, $60. Insane. Yeah. I really want to read Sense Sensibility this year, so that's on my list. I did just watch Emma again the other day. I haven't read Emma yet. I've only read Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility, and Northanger Abbey of Jane Austen's books, and I love all of Jane Austen's movies. I'd love to read them all eventually one day. I just need to get better at reading classics again. So it's been a long time since I've properly read a classic. So I want to get back into that mindset. And then the other thing that I bought today, I don't know what is going on with my hair. I threw it back because I was just hot and sticky. And now it's like doing this funny little poofy thing. Get in the clip. Anyway, whatever. It needs a wash anyway. The other thing that fell into my shopping bag was this. Like, I need more Lego, but it's just really cute, and I got it from Kmart, so it was like, I don't know, $20 cheaper than what it is from the Lego store. Look at it though. Like, how cute will this look on my bookshelf? It's so cute. I love it. I was tossing up between this and the hospital wing because it was also in Kmart, but this was cheaper. So I made the sensible decision and I got this instead. Yeah. Anyway, that's what's been going on. I don't think I have anything else to share. I know it's been like ages between videos. I'm not very good at YouTube, I've discovered. I just don't know what to talk about. And like, you want to be different. You want to do something that's different to what anyone else is doing so that people actually watch your stuff, but you just end up talking and reviewing books. And I don't know. I wanted to like talk more about our house build, but that's at a standstill at the moment, waiting for council. So, I don't know. What do you want me to talk about if you watch this? It's like that meme. Anyway, see ya.